Hello, gents. Today, let's jump into the wonderful world of Pepsi celebrity ad campaigns. And specifically, I want to focus on the spokesmen of the 80s and 90s. To me, this was the golden age of the Pepsi celebrity endorsement. In the early 80s, some Pepsi ads were a little bit weird. One that stands out in my mind featured a bunch of little kids playing outside for no apparent reason, and then it would cut to grown-ups drinking Pepsi, then back to the little kids playing, back to the grown-ups. All the while this weird 80s music about the Pepsi generation was playing. Looking at it today, it seems like a really weird ad campaign, but maybe at the time it worked. Moving on to 1983, this is when Pepsi ads took a significant turn towards celebrity endorsements, with the signing of Michael Jackson and his brothers to a $5 million deal with Pepsi, which set a record payout for celebrity endorsements. Now, incidentally, Coke offered Michael Jackson $1 million and he rejected it. Now, Jackson changed the lyrics of Billie Jean to sing about the Pepsi generation. Now, sadly, in the filming of one of these ads, he was badly burned when the pyrotechnics went off early and his hair caught on fire. And at first he kept dancing, he didn't realize he was on fire, but he ended up getting serious burns on his scalp. And the event was considered significant because as a result, he started taking painkillers, which eventually he got addicted to, which contributed to his eventual downfall. But that incident with the pyrotechnics malfunction, it didn't stop Michael Jackson from signing a $10 million deal through 1987 and 88 to support his Bad album. Now, there was a bizarre series of misguided Pepsi ads where he arguably lured young boys into his dressing room to play dress-up in his outfits. I mean, knowing what we know about Michael Jackson's weaknesses, I don't think that these are anything but creepy.
Looking for me?
Now in 1985, Pepsi aired a 3-minute long ad featuring the one and only Lionel Richie. Not only are we treated to an original song written by Lionel about Pepsi, but we also catch a glimpse of Jaleel White as a little kid before he played Steve Urkel. Michael J. Fox did Pepsi and Diet Pepsi ads from 1986 until 1990. My favorite is the one where his new neighbor comes over asking if she can have a Diet Pepsi.
Hi, I just moved in next door. Could I borrow a Diet Pepsi?
Sure. Come in. Yes. How about something else?
Listen, if you don't have a Diet Pepsi...
No, I got it.
Chasing down a tree, turning up my engine, sisters scream. I'm on the edge tonight, tonight.
You okay in there?
Here's your Diet Pepsi.
That must be my roommate, Danny.
Danny?
Hi, I'm Danielle. You got another Diet Pepsi?
Sure.
In 1989, Madonna teamed up with Pepsi to promote her new song, Like a Prayer. And that song debuted in the Pepsi commercial with its own little music video. But things got confusing because the day after that ad aired, Her official music video for Like a Prayer aired as well. And when it was released, this video contained some controversial religious symbolism that was considered by many people to be anti-Christian. Then people confused the music video and the commercial since they both had the same song, and the ensuing public outcry, Pepsi decided to pull the commercial. So that was a very short-lived ad campaign. It was basically a flop, and a lot of people don't even remember it or know that it even happened. In 1992, Pepsi's Super Bowl ad featured the beautiful Cindy Crawford, perhaps the most iconic Pepsi ad of all time. The 6th grade me loved this commercial, and I gotta be honest, the today me still loves this commercial. Now, I'm just gonna go on record here and say that Cindy Crawford is the hottest woman who has ever walked the planet. I stand by that, and I will fight any man who says different. Now, this part at the end of the commercial where you find out that all along the two boys were actually just staring at the amazing new Pepsi can, it always reminded me of that scene in Dumb and Dumber where Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels tell the Hawaiian Tropics girls that there's a town right over there where you can find two guys to help you out. Now, I've got to mention the 1993 Van Halen Crystal Pepsi ad. The actual members of the band don't appear in the ad, but the commercial is made to mimic the style of the music video for their smash hit Right Now. For my money, this was one of the most brilliant ad campaigns ever. It features one of the very best songs that the 90s had to offer, and sadly, as we know, Crystal Pepsi didn't do too well, didn't last too long before it fizzled out. But happily for us, in recent years, Pepsi has been bringing Crystal Pepsi back. Next, let's talk about the Ray Charles Diet Pepsi ad campaign, You Got the Right One, Baby. Everybody was singing this song when this ad was out. It really caught on, and for people like me who were kids when this ad campaign took off, this was some of my only exposure to Ray Charles. In fact, to this day, when anybody mentions Ray Charles, this is where my mind goes first, to this very popular ad campaign.
You got the right one. If it's irrepressibly lovable, unsurpassably callable, and intimately soulful, you got the right one, baby.
In 1997, the Spice Girls got on the Pepsi train with their song Move Over. And this is when we were first introduced to Generation Next. Now, as a kid in high school when this came out, I wasn't a big fan of the Spice Girls music, but I had to admit that the song was pretty catchy, and I did think that the Spice Girls were kind of hot. And I actually worked at a music store when I was in high school when this came out, and I proudly wore a Pepsi Spice Girls custom t-shirt that I made. Now, I know I'm focusing on the 80s and 90s, but briefly I need to mention the campaign of 2001-2002 with Britney Spears. It was a raging success. Her Joy of Pepsi song was so popular, everybody knew it. What a great move that Pepsi made here in teaming up with Britney Spears. So, which of these ad campaigns was your favorite? I would like to know. Please tell me. I think I made it abundantly clear that my favorite one was Cindy Crawford one. What do you have to say? Thanks for watching. I will see you soon, gents. What do you say? Would you like to see more like this? Should I do a similar video for Coke? Let me know.